مرحبا بكم في قناة تاتس التعليمية. ادعم القناة بالاشتراك وتفعيل الجرس والإعجاب. الآن زوروا موقعنا howtutsgames.com للتركيز على الدروس واختبار المعلومات، كما يتم تحديث المحتوى التعليمي باستمرار.
Mega Goal 2 Unit 6 الوحدة السادسة. What they said ماذا قالوا. Read what each person said and how it is reported. Examine the differences. ماذا قال كل شخص وكيف نقل هذا الكلام. إذن نتحدث في هذه الوحدة عن الكلام المنقول.
And now we would like to bring you the news of the day.
I would build a sports complex and I will not raise taxes.
The candidate for mayor said he would build a sports complex and he would not raise taxes.
The powerful storm last night knocked down many trees, and some areas of the city are still without power.
The on-the-scene reporter said that the powerful storm the night before had knocked down many trees, and some areas of the city were still without power.
According to recent studies, pomegranate juice is healthy because it lowers blood pressure, and pumpkin seeds seem to improve memory.
The doctor said that, according to recent studies, pomegranate juice was healthy because it lowered blood pressure, and pumpkin seeds seemed to improve memory.
Professor Marvin, does intelligent life exist elsewhere in the universe?
No, there isn't intelligent life elsewhere in the universe. The positive proof is that no other life form has bothered to make contact with us.
The interviewer asked the professor if intelligent life existed elsewhere in the universe. The professor answered that there wasn't intelligent life elsewhere in the universe. He said that the positive proof was that no other life form had bothered to make contact with us.
Mr. Hollyfield, can you tell us about the results of the exam?
They scanned my head and found nothing.
The interviewer asked Mr. Hollyfield, the famous TV presenter, if he could tell us about the results of his exam. He replied that the doctors had scanned his head and had found nothing.
Vocabulary. Match the words and the meanings. الكلمات والمعاني. 1. Proof دليل ويعني C. Evidence. 2. Candidate مرشح وتعني D. Person trying to be elected شخص يريد أن ينتخب. 3. Scan وتعني B. Get an image with a computer مسح ضوئي لصورة. 4. Bother ينزعج أو يهتم ب. A. Make the effort أن يقوم بالجهد. B. Comprehension questions. Answer true or false. أجب بنعم أو خطأ.
Comprehension. Answer true or false. 1. The candidate said that he wouldn't raise taxes. 2. The doctor said that pumpkin seeds helped fight cancer. 3. The professor said that there was no life on other planets because no one had contacted us. 4. Mr. Hollyfield told the interviewer that the doctors hadn't found anything wrong with him.
What did the reporter ask the professor?
He asked him if there is intelligent life elsewhere in the universe.
3. Grammar. قواعد. Reported speech الكلام المنقول. Direct speech الكلام المباشر. Reported speech الكلام المنقول. نستخدم المضارع البسيط ونرجع خطوة للوراء إذا كان هذا هو الزمن لنستخدم الماضي البسيط في الكلام المنقول. مثلا I have a brother and a sister. المعذرة. He said that اختياريا he had a brother and a sister. قال. إذا نستخدم said هي ماضي أساسا، والكلام المنقول أيضا أنه لديه في الماضي أيضا نستعملها. إذن في الكلام المنقول نرجع خطوة للوراء. I don't like mangoes. الآن نفيا she said she didn't like mangoes. إذن علينا أن ننتبه للزمن الموجود في الجملة التي قيلت، وفي الكلام المنقول نرجع بها خطوة للوراء للزمن الماضي. present progressive يصبح past progressive، والمستمر نستخدم فيه am is are في المضارع، was were was للمفرد و were للجماعة في الماضي. I'm talking to Mary. She said she was talking to Mary. simple past الماضي البسيط I learned English in Canada. ED. الآن نرجع للوراء من الزمن past perfect الماضي البسيط يصبح had و ED verb أو التصريف الثالث. He said he had learned English in Canada. present perfect المضارع البسيط I haven't منفي الآن seen the film التصريف الثالث مع have، بينما نحولها للماضي present تصبح past perfect. She said she hadn't seen the film yet، والدليل كلمة yet على التمام. models أفعال المودلز نستعملها كالتالي I will see you later تصبح she said she would see me later. would هي الشكل الماضي من will. إذا صح التعبير I can't come to the meeting لا يمكنني الماضي من كان could، وأيضا منفية he said he couldn't come to the meeting. I have to أو must to نستخدمها في الماضي had to، فنقول I have to go to the doctor ولا I must go to the doctor، فنقول she said she had to go to the doctor. لا يوجد ماضي من must وإنما نستعمل had to. We may be late قد نكون متأخرين may تتحول إلى might. I said that we might be late. Note the word that may be omitted after said. ممكن الاستغناء عن الكلمة that. الأسئلة المنقولة علينا أن ننتبه لأداة السؤال، قد نحذفها reported questions أو نغيرها على حسب الزمن كذلك. How old are you? He asked how old I was. إذن are نحولها للماضي. الماضي من المضارع am is are، الماضي was were. المشكلة علينا أن ننتبه للفاعل how old are you مع you نسأل بR لأن يو تعامل معاملة الجمع، بينما I مفرد فعلينا نأتي بواز، وللجمع نأتي بwere. Where were you last night؟ أين كنت الليلة الفائتة؟ هذا ماضي الآن. كيف نحولها؟ نرجع للزمن للوراء ماض تام. She wanted to know where we had been the night before. إذا نأتي بهاد والتصريف الثالث. Note if there is no question word إذا لم تكن هناك أداة السؤال how where when if is used إذا هذا سؤال بنعم أو لا، إذا نستخدم if. Are you a student؟ he asked if Tom was a student. هو سأل إذا ما كان توم طالبا، إذا معناها إذا. Did you enjoy the dinner party؟ هل استمتعت بالعشاء؟ ننقلها كيف؟ She asked if they had enjoyed the dinner party. Word changes in reported speech. كلمات word changes يعني كلمات تتغير في الكلام المنقول. In reported speech some words may be different from those in the original sentence. في الجملة الأصلية كلمات تتغير مثل الضمائر مثلا I did my homework already. الآن ننقل كلامه فنقول Teddy said قال تدي that he هو عوضا عن I had done his homework عوضا عن my homework already. The plane is arriving now. تصل الطائرة الآن. لازم تتغير هذه الكلمة أثناء نقلها. Mary said that the plane was arriving then في ذلك الوقت الذي قيلت فيه الجملة أو at that time في ذلك الوقت. Note the following time expressions change in reported speech. الكلمات أو التعبيرات الزمنية تتحول للتالي في الكلام المنقول. في الجملة الأصلية نقول now، إذا نقلناها نقول at that time. Today تصبح on that day مثلا أو that day. Tomorrow غدا the day after اليوم القادم the next day. Yesterday تصبح the day before. Reporting verbs أفعال تدل على الكلام المنقول أو هي لنقل الكلام. A variety of verbs with different shades of meaning can be used in place of say. عوضا عن كلمة say يقول Yes, it's a good idea. My friend agreed. وافق. It was a good idea على أنها. إذن الموافقة لأنه قال it is a good idea. أيضا نعامل هذا السياق معاملة الكلام المنقول فننتبه أننا نرجع بالزمن للوراء. Of course, I did my homework. Tom assured أكد لنا. أيضا هذا أسلوب آخر. The teacher لأن of course تدل على التأكيد. The teacher that he had done his homework. An indirect object is always used after tell. عادة ما نستعمل أو نضيف مفعول غير مباشر بعد كلمة tell. يعني عادة هنا لدينا مفعول أول وهو الشيء الذي أنجز، والمفعول الثاني الشخص الذي أنجز لصالحه أو أخبر له نقل له الكلام. فمثلا نقول he told me. me هنا المفعول الثاني. that he had studied English. studied English هو المفعول الأول in the States. انقل الرسائل التالية من خلال هذه answer machine.
Sample answers. 1. He said that he might work late that night and that he had to finish a report. 2. Fahad told Majid that the game started at 8 and that he would pick him up at 7. 3. Ali asked Yahya what the math assignment for the next day was. 4. Maha told Nora that she had had a wonderful time in Abu Dhabi. She said that she was going to come by Nora's house to show her the video. 5. Hussein asked Adil if the game was still on for that night.
لدينا مؤشرات على الكلام المنقول وهي كلمة said, told, asked, told وasked كذلك. علينا أن ننتبه في الكلام المنقول إلى الزمن الملائم might work, had to finish, started, would pick, was, had, was going to come وif was. Hamid took a message for his brother Abdullah. Complete what he wrote down. ماذا كتب حميد؟ Using the correct form of the verbs. استخدم الصيغة الملائمة من الفعل بين قوسين. Answers. Hi bro, that friend of yours سعيد called. اتصل. نستخدم الماضي. This morning. هذا الصباح. He asked where you were. السائل أين كنت؟ إذن you were جمع ماضي be. الماضي من be للجمع where. And why you didn't call. لم تتصل. كلها ماضي الآن. hadn't call أسلوب آخر يمكن استعمال التام كذلك. him last night. He said he left or had left. الاثنين صحيح ماضي أو ماضي تام. A message on your cell phone yesterday afternoon. الآن كلها هذه قصة، فالقصص نستخدم فيها إما الماضي البسيط أو الماضي التام. I told him أخبرته ماضي بسيط. It wasn't منفية. البي الماضي من بي was where ولكن استخدمنا was لأن it مفرد. Any of my business what you did. I think he felt bad. He apologized and I told him it was ماضي بسيط من be للمفرد was. Anyway, he asked me to tell you that he had a surprise. الماضي من have had وليست للتام الآن لأن ليس بعدها فعل في التصريف الثالث. A surprise for you and that he would come. will come لازم ماضي من will والماضي منها would come وcome تأتي في المصدر. To our house at 5 o'clock tonight. He also said you should wear something warm because he would الماضي من will take you to a mountainous place. He said that he couldn't cannot الماضي منها couldn't call you during the day because he had to work. Your brother Hamid.
C. Look at the examples on page 84 again. Read and mark how each pair of sentences is different. 1. Which words change in the second sentences? 2. What is different in the meaning of the second sentences?
4. Language and context. اللغة في السياق.
Read what each person said and how it was reported. Write some sentences about global issues and have a partner report them to the class. Al Gore on global warming. There are many who still do not believe that global warming is a problem at all. And it's no wonder, because they are the targets of a massive and well-organized campaign of disinformation lavishly funded by polluters. Japanese fishing industry to the media were fishing whales for research purposes. The Japanese fishing industry assured the media that they were fishing whales for research purposes. Al Gore said that there were many who still did not believe that global warming was a problem. He continued by saying that it was no wonder, because they were the targets of a massive and well-organized campaign of disinformation.
5. Listening. استماع. The presidential candidate made 3 mistakes during his speech. المرشح قام ب3 أخطاء أثناء كلامه. What did he say that was wrong? ماذا قال وهو خطأ? Listen and write them down. اكتبها.
Fellow citizens, today is the last day of the campaign. You have heard all the candidates running for the presidency and their proposals for their term in office. I've been a faithful public servant all my life. I have held many positions in the government, but no one can point a finger at me and accuse me of wrongdoing. I have fought for what is right. I have helped strengthen our economy, and I have stood for family values. I want to continue serving the people. I want to make sure that a job is available for everybody who wants a job. My government will raise the standard of living, and it will raise unemployment. I will always be ready to help this great country at all times. I have asked my staff to wake me up at any time, even during meetings. Our health system needs to be reevaluated. We don't have enough doctors and nurses. Scholarships will be provided for people who wish to pursue nursing careers and for those who want to study medicine. Education is also one of my priorities. I want to eliminate illiteracy. People who can't read and write shouldn't be in school. So vote right. Vote for John Wright.
6. Pronunciation. نطق. تدرب على التشديد أو عدم التشديد في كلمة that.
Unstressed that. He said that he would help. My friend said that the football game was at 10.
Stressed that. Used as a pronoun.
He didn't say that. Why did they say that?
About you in pairs. Ask the questions and have your friend answer. Then switch roles. 1. Have you ever made a mistake and said something you shouldn't have said? What did you say? 2. What was one of the most interesting quotes or sayings that you heard? 3. Are there any sayings that are specific to your country or culture? Which ones do you like or think are memorable? 4. What kinds of messages do you receive or leave on friends' answering machines or cell phones? 5. Do you and your friends gossip about other people? 6. Have you ever had a telemarketing person call you? What did she want to sell? What did she say? What did you answer?
8. Conversation. Underline that in the conversation. Practice reading the conversation with a partner. ضع خطا في كلمة that في هذه المحادثة. Real talk. في الكلام الواقعي. Really, totally يعني used to make a statement stronger. حقا إلى جعل جملة أقوى. In the end في النهاية used to introduce a statement with the final event or result. نبين النتيجة النهائية. Or anything like that أو أي شيء مثل ذلك or other similar things أشياء مشابهة used to so that the speaker doesn't have to give a complete list or explain things in more details لكي لا يوضح كل شيء. Hawks وتعني a plan أنها خطة that is designed to trick someone else خدعة لنخدع الآخرين.
I really think that telemarketing shouldn't be allowed.
Yes, I totally agree with you. Telemarketers are a real nuisance.
Yesterday, a man called me up. He said he was from the Dollar Bank, and he asked if he could talk to me for a minute.
What did he want?
He said that someone had given them my name and that he was calling to offer their services.
What services?
He tried to persuade me to open an account with them. So I told him I already had an account elsewhere and that I wasn't interested. But he insisted and was very pushy. In the end, I lost my patience and hung up.
Well, I got a call from a man who said he was from a travel agency. This man said I had won a free trip to the Bahamas and that he was calling me to give me the good news.
Had you entered a contest or anything like that?
No. It turned out that everything was for free, but I'd first have to pay a huge amount of money to become a member of the Jet Set Club. Big hoax.
I hate that.
1. What are Faisal and Khalid complaining about? عن ماذا يتذمران؟ Faisal and Khalid are complaining about telemarketers, المسوقون عن بعد. Number 2. What did the man on the phone with Faisal want? ماذا أراد الرجل على التليفون من فيصل? The man on the phone with Faisal tried to persuade him to open an account at a bank. يريد أن يقنعه ليفتح حساب في البنك. Number 3. What did Faisal do? ماذا قام به فيصل? Faisal lost his patience and hung up. أغلق الهاتف. Number 4. Why did the man call Khalid? لماذا اتصل بخالد? The man told Khalid that he had won a free trip to the Bahamas. أنه فاز برحلة مجانية للبهامز. Number 5. What would Khalid have to do in order to go to the Bahamas? وماذا عليه أن يفعل? Khalid would have to pay a huge amount of money to join a club to go on the trip. مبلغ طائل لكي ينضم إلى ناد ليحصل على الرحلة. Reading قراءة. Do you know any famous quotes? هل تعرف أي اقتباسات شهيرة? Write them down and compare with a partner.
My primary goal is to be an exemplary and leading nation in all aspects, and I will work with you in achieving this endeavor.
King Salman bin Abdulaziz Al Saud, custodian of the two holy mosques.
640K ought to be enough for anybody.
Bill Gates, founder of Microsoft in 1981, talking about computer memory.
Half the world is composed of people who have something to say and can't, and the other half who have nothing to say and keep on saying it.
Robert Frost, American poet.
It is a terrible thing to see and have no vision.
Helen Keller, American author, activist, and lecturer. She was the first deaf and blind person to graduate from college.
Never let formal education get in the way of your learning.
Mark Twain, writer.
Who is wise? He that learns from everyone. Who is powerful? He that governs his passions. Who is rich? He that is content. Who is that? Nobody.
Benjamin Franklin, American writer, politician, scientist, and inventor.
How could anyone govern a nation that has 246 different kinds of cheese?
Charles de Gaulle, French president.
An archaeologist is the best husband a woman can have. The older she gets, the more interested he is in her.
Agatha Christie, writer.
Wise men talk because they have something to say. Fools talk because they have to say something.
Plato, Greek philosopher.
Make yourself necessary to somebody.
Ralph Waldo Emerson, American writer.
I'm not afraid to die. I just don't want to be there when it happens.
Woody Allen, American director.
Everything that can be invented has been invented.
Attributed to Charles H. Dewell, Commissioner, U.S. Office of Patents, 1899.
Those who do not complain are never pitied.
Jane Austen, writer.
Answer true or false.
1. Robert Frost said half the people in the world don't say what they want to say. 2. Gates believed that more than 640k memory was unnecessary. 3. Jane Austen thought that people had no sympathy for those who complain. 4. Mark Twain said that people shouldn't let formal education stop them from learning. 5. De Gaulle thought that it was easy to govern France because people wanted the same thing. 6. Helen Keller said that having no insight or understanding was worse than being blind.
B. Report what they said. Use your own words. انقل كلامهم. استخدم كلامك.
1. Emerson said to make yourself necessary to somebody. 2. Plato said that fools talked because they had to say something even if it was worthless. 3. Woody Allen said he was not afraid of death but that he didn't want to be there when he died. 4. Charles Joule said in 1899 that everything that could be invented had been invented.
10. Writing. كتابة.
A1. Look at the scene in the picture. Who do you think these people are? How are they feeling? 2. Read the text and answer the questions. Why did she call her brother? What was he doing when she called? Was he pleased? What was the problem? What had she already done about it? How did he react to the news?
She called her brother at work. She knew he didn't like to be interrupted, but she didn't know what else to do. Their mother's condition was deteriorating. He sounded annoyed when he answered the phone. He was probably in the middle of a meeting. She apologized and stressed that she wouldn't have called if she hadn't thought it was urgent. His tone changed instantly. He asked her what was happening and if everything was all right. He wanted to know if the doctor had been notified and when he would be coming to see their mother. He sounded very stressed and worried. She tried to reassure him by telling him that the nurse was at home looking after their mother and their aunt and that everything was under control. He asked her to wait for a minute while he took care of something. She heard him speak to some people, probably clients. She heard the words family emergency and health and realized he was excusing himself. Then there was some noise of chairs being pulled, people moving, and a door opening and then closing. He came back and explained that he had to interrupt the meeting and reschedule it for another day. She thanked him for having done that, and before she had a chance to ask, he interrupted and asked her to hang up so he could be on his way home as soon as possible.
الآن نكتب ملاحظاتك عن ماذا حدث في هذا الاتصال. Who is the patient؟ من المريض؟ Where is the patient؟ أين هو؟ What happened to the patient؟ ماذا حدث له؟ Who is looking after the patient؟ من يعتني به الآن؟ Who is with the patient now؟ من مع المريض الآن؟
Well Hospital address Well Hospital 200 North Avenue NY 12345 How to find us parking. Head southwest on Bloom Street toward Main Avenue. Turn left onto Main Avenue. Take the second right onto Hinsdowne Street. Continue on Hinsdowne Street for 3.1 miles. Toward North Avenue, enter the hospital grounds from North Avenue and take the first right for the emergency entrance. Patients can be dropped off at the door. Well Hospital has an underground ramp garage adjacent to the hospital. It is open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Rates are charged on an hourly and daily basis. Purchase an exit ticket from the cashier before you leave. Write an email to your uncle and aunt. Tell them what has happened and give them directions on how to reach the hospital. Writing corner. When you write an email to report an event and give information or directions, check facts, content, and report accurately. Write as if you were speaking to the person. I use contracted forms and informal language. Use imperatives to give directions, for example, take a turn, go straight down, and so on. Open and sign off in an appropriate way. Hi, hello, dear. Best see you soon, and so on.
Form, meaning, and function. Words connected with the environment and natural disasters. كلمات لها دخل في البيئة والكوارث الطبيعية. Some words that we commonly use when we talk about environmental problems and natural disasters are
global warming, flood damage, erosion, earthquake, threaten, air pollution, tornado, rescue, water pollution, tsunami, protect, overfishing, volcanic eruption, hit, deforestation, forest fire, research. News reporter Al Gore said that there were many who still did not believe that global warming was a problem. The Japanese fishing industry assured the media that they were fishing whales for research purposes. The National Weather Service has reported that a tornado will hit the West Coast at 4 p.m. today.
Negative questions. الأسئلة المنفية. We can use negative questions to check information or express surprise. لنتأكد من المعلومة أو نبين اندهاشنا. مثلا, Isn't there something we can do? ألا يوجد شيء نقوم به؟ إما مندهشين أو نتأكد. Aren't you going to help? ألن تساعد؟ Don't you want to know what happened? ألن تريد أن تعرف ماذا حدث؟ Haven't you seen the news? ألم ترى الأخبار؟ Didn't you ask them about the damage? ألم تسألهم عن الأضرار؟ Weren't you there to offer support? ألم تكن هناك للمساعدة؟ Interview your partner about a natural disaster that they have read about, heard about, or witnessed. اعمل مقابلة مع صاحبك عن كارثة طبيعية إما سمع عنها، رآها، أو قرأ عنها. Then report their account to the class. ثم نقل الكلام. مثلا number 1. What happened? ماذا حدث؟ 2. When did it happen? متى؟ 3. Where did it happen? أين؟ 4. How many people were affected? من المتأثر؟ 5. Your questions. Another question. Number 6. أضف سؤالا. B. Write a negative questions for the following situations. اكتب السؤال المنفي لهذه الحالات. مثلا Aren't you going to buy one too? للاستغراب أو لنتأكد من المعلومة. ماذا عن التالي؟
1. Don't you recognize me? 2. Aren't you going to offer me any? 3. Don't you want you play? 4. Aren't you going to say hello to me too? 5. Aren't you going to get up today?
على حسب الفاعل والزمن استخدمنا أداة النفي. فمثلا don't you والسبب you وهذا مضارع بسيط. وإذا كان الفاعل هي مثلا استخدم doesn't. وهذا المستمر am is are و going to. ولكن هنا لأن الفاعل you استخدمنا aren't. وأيضا استخدمنا don't you مضارع بسيط و aren't you مضارع مستمر. Relative adverb where. النسبي where أين أو حيث بمعنى الآن وليست أداة سؤال. That's the school where حيث درست. I attended as a child حيث حضرتها كطفل. Dubai is the place. دبي هو المكان. عرف لنا إياه. Where حيث I went to go on vacation ذهبت للعطلة. That's the place where I grew up. ذلك المكان حيث ترعرعت. Home is where the heart is. المسكن حيث القلب. Indirect questions. الأسئلة غير المباشرة. Use indirect questions when you ask for information لنسأل عن معلومات. There is no inversion of the subject and verb in indirect questions. Direct question. في السؤال المباشر نقول مثلا What's the name of the street؟ ما اسم الشارع؟ لنجعلها غير مباشر Do you know؟ هل تعرف؟ ونضيف السؤال What the name of the street is؟ لكن يعني كأننا نضيف أداة السؤال what ثم نقول كأنها الإجابة The name of the street مثلا is حجاز. إذن هذا الترتيب خاص بالأسئلة غير المباشرة. علينا أن نضيف بادئة وهي Do you know؟ Can you tell me مثلا، ثم نأتي بأداة السؤال، بعد ذلك نأتي كأنها الإجابة ونحذف الإجابة بعد الفعل المساعد أو الفعل الرئيسي. Where is the nearest bank؟ أين أقرب بنك؟ Do you know where the nearest bank is؟ فكأننا نجيب the nearest bank is next to extra مثلا. When does the store open؟ متى يفتح المتجر؟ Do you know when the store opens؟ The store opens at 9 a.m. مثلا الإجابة. Where can I get a good pizza؟ Could you tell me؟ هذه هي البادئة ونستخدم أداة السؤال where مثلا حيث المكان. سابقا الزمان وقبله مكان أيضا وقبل ذلك ماذا؟ الآن علينا بالزمان where I can get good pizza. Expressing agreement with so neither أو neither either و to. كيف نتفق مع هذه الكلمات؟ Use so and to when you agree with an affirmative sentence. نستخدم so و to مع الجمل المثبتة. و use neither و either معناها ولا أنا. so أيضا أنا أيضا معناها. to أنا أيضا معناها. إذن neither و either نستعملها في الجمل المنفية عندما نتفق مع نفيا. when you agree with a negative statement. affirmative المثبت. I ate at the new pizza restaurant. أنا أكلت في المطعم هذا. إذا كان الشخص المتحدث يريد أن يتفق يقول so did I حتى أنا، لأنه ماضي يستخدم did. I did to أسلوب آخر. إذن so نبدأ بها و to ننهي بها الجملة. في الإثبات مثلا I will visit my family on the weekend. I will للمستقبل. so will I حتى أنا وسوف أنا. I will too سوف أنا أيضا. في النفي I don't know the answer لا أعرف الإجابة. هذا مضارع وهي منفية. لنتفق معها نقول neither do I ولا أنا. I don't either. إذا أردت أستخدم either أنفي ما قبلها، لكن مع neither لا أحتاج للنفي. I won't go to school tomorrow. Neither will I. إذا استخدمنا neither لا نحتاج إلى نفي، لكن I won't either أنا ولا أنا نحتاج إلى النفي. Expressing disagreement عدم الاتفاق. I didn't like the pizza. لم تعجبني البيتزا. ماضٍ. الآن هذا الشخص يريد أن يتفق، يريد أن يختلف مع السابق فيقول I did أنا أعجبت. I've been to مسقط. أنا ذهبت إلى مسقط. يريد أن يقول العكس، يبين عكس حالته. I haven't لم أذهب. I can rollerblade يمكنني التزلج. I can't هذا يقول يعكس الحالة. I am not very tall. I am هو يقول لست طويلا كثيرا فيثبت أنه طويل الشخص الذي بعده. C. Work with a partner. Make the indirect questions. Use do you know or could you tell me. استخدم هذه البادئات لكي تكون سؤالا عن التالي، سؤالا غير مباشر. What time does the bus arrive؟ متى يصل الحافلة؟ فنقول البادئة do you know what time the bus arrives؟ السؤال على number 2. Do you know how often the buses come؟ 3. Do you know what time the bank opens? 4. Could you tell me where the nearest pharmacy is? 5. Do you know when the gas station closes? 6. Could you tell me the name of the highway to town? D. Read the statement below and write your response. Compare with a partner. الآن اكتب رأيك في التالي. I don't like fast food. الآن يريد أن يتفق. Neither do I. ولا أنا. I like fast food. أنا أعجب بالطعام السريع. I don't. الشخص الآن يبين حالة عكسية. I went to Dubai on vacation. So did I. يتفق. I don't like vacations. لا أعجب بالإجازات. I do. أنا أحبها. ماذا عنك أنت؟ I can swim. So do I مثلا, or so can I can. I can too مثلا ممكن أن تقول. Number 2. I will play football on the weekend. I will too. 3. I have 3 sisters. I don't. Number 4. I didn't go to the school until I was 6 years old. I did. Number 5. I won't be able to go on vacation this year. I will.
Project 1. Find interesting quotations by famous people around the world in certain areas such as politics, education, science, history, and so on. 2. Make notes in the organizer. 3. Present your findings to the class.
الآن أعثر على اقتباسات في هذه الموضوعات. كاتيجوري الموضوع، ساينس العلوم، هيستوري التاريخ، politics السياسة، education التعليم. الاقتباس the quote, who said it من قاله, explanation of a quote توضيح هذا الاقتباس.
Report what people said. Discuss famous quotes. Relate messages. Use reporting verbs and ask reported questions. Use reported speech and make word changes. Form negative questions. Use the relative adverb. Where talk about the environment and natural disasters. Express agreement and disagreement with so, neither.
Unit 6. Condition, diagnosis, dilemma, disorder, downside, ethics, potential, consider, disapprove, dread, inherit, motivate, peak, reason, undergo, vanish, controversial, ethical, genetic, moral, preventative, reluctant, responsible, tempted, treatable. As far as I'm concerned, I feel, I believe, I would think, say that. In my opinion, it seems to me that. The way I see it. Blow the whistle on. Call. I wouldn't put it past him. Rotten.
الآن زوروا موقعنا howtutsgames.com للتركيز على الدروس واختبار المعلومات، كما يتم تحديث المحتوى التعليمي باستمرار. كان معكم الأستاذ جاسم العقيلي، مع تمنياتنا لكم بالتوفيق والتفوق.